Hi everyone, my name is Antony Cummins and welcome to this video. This is about the Natori Ryu student YouTube channel. Now I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. Now the YouTube channel was set up by Duncan Curtis and is run by Duncan and Ben. So that's Ben Morgan. Now why have we got it? We've already got a YouTube channel. But the problem is the YouTube channel, Natori Ryu only has my things on it. That pretty much things I have done. So we want to create a channel where everybody from all over the Natori community, especially in the Natori Ryu hub, can join us. So if you've come across this video from YouTube itself, then there's on Facebook we have something called Natori Ryu Hub. Is where we all meet from all over the world and chat about Natori Ryu and Chinese warfare and Japanese warfare and all that type of thing. So if you've come across this video, please go there. But for the rest of you guys who are already Natori Ryu members, then I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what we've got to do. So I've got it all here out in front of me. It's going to be a bit of an informal video. So what do we need? I think a lot of people are still puzzled at what to do with Natori Ryu. Now the first book will be out in November 2015. If it's past that date, then it's already out and there's lots of things to do. But this channel is so you guys can put up what you have done and show the world, and we can start to build a bit of a curriculum with Natori. So what can the videos be about? So first of all, there's so many things it can be about. For example, it can be about the Chinese classics. Now, Chinese classics wise, we are using the 7 military classics of China, and that is by Sawyer. Can you see that? Sawyer. Now this has got the 7 Chinese classics. Now if you don't know what that is, there are 7 classics that are military writings, so the art of war is one of them, that are considered the height of Chinese warfare. And we use Sawyer's version simply because he's an extremely good academic. There's some amazing stuff in there. But you could do videos on this. You could show people, talk about it. You could talk about the history of each one. You could at least just point out the dates of each one. You could break it down into individual sections and so for example, I've opened it up on some old notes here. So order your generals and officers to carry us the mysterious dark pennants. I think they're sort of a black flag that they used to signal with, but we've got to go into that. And take up the implements of war. What are the implements of war? You could do a video on Chinese things. Require the soldiers to put wooden gags in their mouths and move at night. Men of courage and strength who risk danger should occupy the front to level fortifications and open passage for the army. So you could see there, you could show about how to log the mouth, how to move at night, how to put your best warriors at the front. That's just one sentence in probably 500 pages. There is information bursting out of this book that needs to be put on the internet and that needs for people to read it. So you've got to get into that. So the Chinese classics. Now, of course, you could not just the Chinese classics, but Chinese warfare in general. What about this? Again, I've gone with Sawyer because I just think he's a really good academic. And this is about Chinese weaponry. So you could do a video on Chinese weaponry. You might be saying, why Chinese when we're doing Japan? Because all of the samurai had a great respect for Chinese warfare. You know, throughout most of their history. Now, of course, they had an understanding of Chinese weapons. While they may not have been used, they had the understanding of warfare in China. And lots of their stuff comes from China. A lot of samurai warfare is actually Chinese warfare dressed up in Japanese, you know, style. So you could just any book on Chinese warfare, they get a decent book though, and you could start explaining what it's about, show some of the weapons, draw the weapon, do some artwork, for example, based on the weapons and show people. So whatever you're good at. Next, what we've got is sort of history of Japan. Now, what about we need people to tell us who was Takeda Shingen, who was Tokugawa Ieyasu, who was Kenshin. All these things you can do a video on. You can do videos on almost anything from Japanese history. But I would recommend you concentrate on the Takeda family and their associated battles, and also the Tokugawa family. So especially Kishu Tokugawa, but not only them. So you could do history on Takeda and Tokugawa, anything you like involved in that. I could literally go off into 1,000 directions. So you can do anything that way. Then we got down to equipment. So You could do videos galore on Japanese swords. This is done by the Royal Armouries England, so great information. Again, Japanese armour by the Royal Armouries. I was on a trip to the Royal Armouries with my father actually, and I bought these. We were having a nice day out going around the armour in the sections, and you could literally get something like this or any book that's decent on Japanese armour, equipment, the types of torches they used, anything that gives people a background on Japanese history, so you can use them. So we've got samurai weapons and equipment. What about actually things like this? Now this is not related to a specific Ryu hat, I'll go through that in a minute, but basically samurai war stories, for example, you could this tells you all about warfare in Japan. You could literally go through this, pull out all the stuff and make videos on that. Now we're getting to the more of the to add to the actual equipment, you've got things like this, the cutting edge swords of the British Museum, so you know the information is going to be, you know, good information. It's British Museum done, and you can tell us about the different types of sword. Natori was in the 1600s. What do we know about swords in the 1600s? The rules and the regulations. All those things you can talk about. Now we can go on to also the more religious divination sections. So for example, in Natori Ryu it talks about the I Ching, which is obviously the divination system. That opens 1,000 videos to do. Divination alone gets ridiculous on the sort of like the information you need to know. It's so complicated, and we could do with some people researching different angles and bringing in the divination. Now you could also do videos on Buddhism. So we've got the two types of Buddhism we should concentrate are Soto Buddhism, which is a form of Zen, and that is done in Natori's temple, Eunji temple, where Natori is buried, and that is the Buddhism that his family would have been, you know, that was their family temple that was done there. But also Natori retired to Ono village, which is at the Mount of Koyasan, the holy mountain of Koyasan. So he retired there, which means he must have known a lot about Shingon Buddhism. So we need videos on Shingon Buddhism. Now, of course, you could even do Japanese language. I myself don't do Japanese language, but what if you like linguistics? You could take us through the different names, the different words, the different kanji, even take us through the kanji, katakana, kana and hiragana strokes, furigana, and there's one more, I think, I forget the name of it, and you could tell us all about the brush strokes, how you do the different, how to write calligraphy. It could be anything like that. Then of course we've got what everybody's attracted to, which is the ninjutsu. Now Natori has 3 ninja scrolls in Natori Ryu, so this is not, the Shoninki is not the only one, but this book is so underused with Natori Ryu students. It's just simply packed with ridiculous amounts of information. For example, how to get over a wall and pass through a hedge we mentioned later, but to climb onto a roof you should use a Kaginawa grappling iron or a katana. Let's get some videos of people actually grappling on lifting up. For example, to walk on a roof without making a sound, you should climb up in the area around the beams and walk along the ridge, i.e. support structure. Let's get a video on that. Why not? Let's get it out there. But what should you not do? People are interested in Natori because they're interested in ninjutsu. So they often say, oh, can we use the Bansen Shukai? Can we use, you know, the Nimpuden? I would say no. But be careful, that doesn't mean you can't read it. You can spend as much time as you like with the Bansen Shukai. I recommend you do it. The Bansen Shukai is a phenomenal manual. It's excellent. Same as Shinobi Hiden, Chikamatsu's scrolls. All of them should be studied, but they should be studied separate to Natori Ryu. So if we're doing videos for this channel, let's not do Bansen Shukai, let's not do Chikamatsu. That's for your own channels, and you should do them. But here we study Natori Ryu ninjutsu, and there's enough of it in the Shoninki to go on for quite some time. And the new book coming out in November has some more ninjutsu in it, only a little bit, but it has some more. So there's plenty to do. Also, I would say let's not use martial arts from other schools. So I wouldn't recommend doing martial arts from other schools on this channel, simply because we're trying to keep it Gungaku history warfare. Put martial arts on your own channel, which is fine, and upload them on the hub, but tell us where they're from and which school. So on the whole, we've got Chinese classics, we've got Chinese warfare, we've got I Ching divination, we've got esoteric Buddhism, Soto, Shinto, Japanese language, the history of Japan, whichever one you want to go down, samurai equipment, Natori Ryu ninjutsu. We have got thousands and thousands of little branches we can go down with videos. So all it takes, guys, is for you to actually sit in front of a camera and make a video. Everybody has a digital camera now, everybody, either on their computer or on their phone, or like I am doing, on a camera with a stand. So it's not difficult to do. But how should you upload them? Of course, we're not going to just give the passwords to everyone, because it'd easily be stolen and robbed and we'd never see it again. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave Ben in charge of uploading. So how do you get your videos to him? Make your videos, if you can, edit the videos, and you know, try to get the Natori Ryu intro and outro. The Natori Ryu intro and outro is on my Natori Ryu site. You can easily get that, just download it. What you need to do is make the video, process it, so it's ready to upload on computer, and you then use either get the program called Dropbox, which you can have on your computer, and then you could just share the link with Ben, or you can use a program called WeTransfer.com, and that means you just upload it to them, you put Ben's email address in and send it there. If you don't know who Ben is, look on Facebook for Ben Morgan, and he will, or just ask in Natori Ryu Hub, and he will give you his email address and you can get them all over there. So guys, there's no need to wait, let's start getting videos up there, let's enjoy it. Okay, my name's Antony Cummins, this is Natori Ryu. We are going to absolutely push forward in 2016. Absolutely going to go and get as much as we can done. So I hope you'll be there with us.